So we actually have to have a tiebreaker after Volskaya, after the assault map.
Yeah, after that hybrid map, who knows, man? It just gets so close.
Yeah, maybe we have to go to Oasis or something for a tiebreak. We'll see what happens as these guys do start things off here. Coming out the gate is Denmark with France on the defense.
It is going to be Lind on the Zenyatta, or he was until he just got taken out by Soon. Kellex is going to the second one to fall, and Unko is building up so much ult meter. It will be on that Sombra to start things off, and Krytox is just going to stand in place and die as they reset for the next play here. Unko building up quite a bit, grabs that health pack here, got the 200 first, so a bit greedy, but now has both, and he's going to be looking for that first EMP.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just go ahead, you play that fight, because Denmark just disappeared in a matter of seconds. Wasn't even worth me interjecting. So really nice stuff here for France to start things off. Unko going dangerously low, is able to snap back with that translocator, and Lind is yet again gone down soon. Just finding this Zenyatta over and over again and ripping him to pieces. Nico does fall. That's like the little reprieve here for the side of Denmark. And soon will also go down, so they eliminate the DPS members and start wrapping around to push in onto this point. But that EMP will come through, and the kills are going to start spilling over here for France. Find Nerf, still chasing them back. You can see them wrapping around the corner, trying to get out safely, but Krytox cannot do so.
Craggy just really bringing the fight, though. He was hacked early on, but no one chased him down. As Flame was saying earlier, it just doesn't feel like Soon ever wants to contest with him, fight him 1v1, and oftentimes he's just kind of left to his own devices. If the rest of the team crumbles, it doesn't matter if he survives, if he's doing, you know, some pea shooter damage alone. He needs the synergy there.
Well, it's because Soon is too busy helping to kill Lind. Yeah. He and Unko just go in, and there's just so much pressure without that Transcendence available that he is just going to die every single time. You can see how long it's taking him now to build up for that ultimate. He's just going to swap over to the Ana, a bit more reliable for him to build up his ultimate, but Soon is still just wreaking havoc, killing supports every time he sees them. We saw a Pulse Bomb come out from Craggy, but all it did was knock AKM out of that mech.
And France has the ult lead now, and I feel like the switch here for Lind sure gives him some extra survivability that Zenyatta just simply doesn't have. Zenyatta can beat a Tracer if you can hit the headshots in those really tense moments, but against Soon, that's very difficult to make happen. So maybe that's going to be the way, but already the hack here with the Dragon Blade coming out from Nico.
Comes through, Nico pushing forward, finds the first kill here from Fisher, doubles down, gets nerfed. Now maybe looking for a little bit more. Krytox was able to find one for himself with his own Dragon Blade, but very much going to be overshadowed here for the performance by Nico. Dashes down, looking for the kill. It goes dangerously low. We'll go ahead and have to peel back here with the assistance of his Lucio to keep him safe, but France right now looking for that full hold, minute 30 remaining. Not even a tick available for Denmark.
For Krytox, you know, he found a lot of, hold that thought, we're going to go into this fight right away here. They do have the attack visor available with the sound barrier, but no synergy again with the ult usage.
I mean, the sound barrier are going to be burned out because they have to kite back away from that self-destruct, but they're still coming up with a couple kills here. Unko and Nico both going down, Pulse Bomb knocking AKM out, and he's going to get taken down. Winston soon falling. And that's pretty much just going to be the team wipe coming through. So Denmark, with a minute and a half remaining, had a couple ultimates. They chained them all together, and they will, by the look of things, get this cap. Seems like France not going to arrive in time, so we'll just be prepping for this point B defense. So 4:55 on the clock here for Denmark. Certainly not the amount of time that they wanted to work with, but still going to be a decent bank. They can go in for a couple of eco pushes if need be.
So, I mean, the Dragon Blades have been shut down consistently. Krytox seems to be the weak link right now for Denmark. They swapped even Fisher onto the Genji as a result. He didn't find the Dragon Blade kills, and they need to work on that. They made it happen without the Dragon Blade anyways, but this is going to be another shutdown here on the side of France. But for Denmark, it feels like that last fight was won by Nerfed and the sound barrier alone. But really starting to beg questions about whether you should be running the Genji or maybe bringing the Diva in instead, putting Krytox on the Soldier. If you can't make those Dragon Blades happen, if you can't hit the support ultimates to protect Krytox or Fisher, if he's the one on the Genji here on the side of Denmark.
Well, soon, just kind of gatekeeping here up near the choke. Unko goes back in. It was a very clean sweep there for France, just buying more time off that clock. Pulse Bomb comes through, but it's just going to go straight over onto the wall soon, not quite having the flick to get that one onto a target. Unko taking down Craggy. Yet again, just stomping out this Tracer, targeting him down where they can, and Nox is going to go forward. He's got that Primal Rage. He's going to be smacking everybody around and trying to get some nice daggers here as Krytox will be one of the last ones to fall.
Okay, he has the Dragon Blade, and they will have both support ultimates. No Transcendence, but it can make it the Nano Blade here. And this is kind of what they've been banking their comp on while Craggy harasses. He's down, so they'll probably want to wait a little bit before they go for this next push.
I mean, he chased so far just to try to kill Nox. He had a sliver of HP, but doesn't get it, pays for it with his own life, and that just is more time spent, you know, just wasted there for Denmark.
Sure, and I mean, this is the crux of their push, is this Dragon Blade. If they can knock Nox out of the fight or AKM, but they needed more. And already, another EMP can just drop it down, hits near.
Lind now going down as Nox takes them out, and it's just going to be the rest of the team desperately trying to kite back towards the spawn. A few of them will escape with their lives, but for the most part, Denmark, their ranks have been shattered. A minute, 20 seconds remaining, so already 3.5 burned off the clock.
It's just a very defensive setup here for France, using AKM on the D.Va instead of the Soldier, having the extra DPS for Unko to kill those targets. Fischer's always the first one to go down. And Denmark, not with a lot of tools left now anymore, because the EMPs kept coming through. And if they can't make something happen before Unko gets his next one, that's probably going to be lights out in the full hold here on the second point.
Well, a big start to that would have been getting wins, but he's able to trade Craigy's life right back, and the rest of the squad is falling around the map. Just the 2 kills picked up here for Denmark. Going to lose pretty much everybody on their squad.
And now Unko is going to have that EMP, is going to have that miracle ult here to shut everything down. Not only that, but they're going to have, basically the big 6, the self-destruct and the Dragon Blade. Sound Barrier not going to be able to pair with that, but they can use it later. They can stagger these ultimates, and Fischer yet again under fire.
Yeah, will stay alive this time around. Has those shots coming through from Lind to keep him topped off, as well as the biotic field, so will not die, but 20 seconds remaining on the clock. 66% to go here for the side of Denmark. Can they get it down? They're already being jumped on right here. The choke pulse bomb does take out Unko, but Lind has fallen soon. Down to 6 HP, gets the recall up to keep himself alive and still has that pulse bomb. You hear that Dragon Blade being drawn out here from Crytox, looking for a kill, but he's just getting smacked into the wall by the Primal Rage. Winston and soon has found Fischer. Sound Barrier down on the remaining members, but is it enough to keep them all alive? Overtime has come through, nerfed falling, no tank here for the side of Denmark as those respawning members desperately try to sprint over to this point to help the remaining squad out to get this capture, but it's just not going to happen by the look of it. Fischer trying to run his way in here. They will be stopped. 64.1%, all that Denmark was able to gain.
And the big question we had going into this was going to be, will there be Sombra? The answer was resoundingly yes. Unko with consistent defense, just protect against Craggy, because if they shut Craggy down, Crytox's Dragon Blades just were not very effective. The ult pushes shut down so many times, and they just know exactly how Denmark is going to do it. It's usually the DPSs that fall first. Fischer on the Soldier, he was killed before the fight started, or they killed Crytox when he came in on the Dragon Blades consistently there. And now as we swap sides, Denmark is going to have to make these EMPs as valuable as they were for Unko.
I feel like that's going to be a bit of a challenge. Lind did show a pretty good Sombra, as we were talking about before, but Unko was pretty much on fire for that defense. Let's see how they're going to fare. It's going to be otherwise pretty close compositions here. The Soldier Tracer coming through for the DPS. Just going to be Unko back over onto that very comfortable Zenyatta for this attack.
Okay, let's see if Lind can make it happen. He showed a decent Sombra yesterday, but Unko much more known for his. They come in for the attack soon. Looking for the flank here, actually.
Goes way over to the high ground. Seeing where he wants to go. He's just going to show himself, spray away at some of these tanks. But perhaps he was going to try to surprise wins by coming in from behind him. Instead, we'll find Lind force out that translocation.
We're going to actually approach the left side here. The opposite is what we normally see in Korea here to counter the Sombra play. To take that high ground. Crytox is back on the Soldier. Going to be that swap yet again. I like this play a lot more than having the Genji for him, since he's just been so unsuccessful with the Dragon Blades, but they don't sacrifice the D.Va here either.
Nerfed going dangerously low, will be taken down as soon goes forward, finds that kill, and it's going to be a nice opening here for the side of France. Fischer knocked out of the mech as well, so no tanks available for Denmark remaining. Healers are still going to be there doing the damage to keep the rest of the squad alive, but as I say that, Lind and Calix both going to be falling, and that should just be a very fast cap here for the side of France. We'll have just under 7 minutes remaining on the clock.
No impactful EMPs. That's the big concern for Denmark. Just not a single one coming out from Lind here that made a difference. He has one still. He's held on to it. But when your entire crux of your defense is to use the Sombra, that's the meta. This is your map pick, Volskaya. Then, you have to think that this is the way to do it, but he just couldn't make it happen. Now, Crytox switches again back to the Genji. Wants to make those Dragon Blades happen with a larger area to use those EMPs. And a kind of a wonky pick here for AKM on this Reaper. Gonna see the Talon call coming out.
You say that, but he's already gotten rid of Lind. Just goes ahead and just takes him, and as soon as he shows himself, out of that invisibility. And that is just going to be a huge amount of kills coming over here for France. Krytox and Lind, the only ones alive at the moment. And Krytox, well, he goes down. See if they can get this contest. Just needs to hit that second tick, and they have it.
There you go.
So
the Talon Cop, man, they made it work. Bursting down the Diva.
I mean, it wasn't even the full one, because AKM didn't even get the opportunity to throw out the Death Blossom, which is where it really excels on top of the EMP. But, you know,
you don't necessarily have to have the EMP to make the Talon comp work, because part of the strength of it too is that you burst down the tanks that are the big time buyers. They had a lot of ults to pair with that too. So they shut the tanks down, burned them down, because that's what Reaper does. And it was more about the Reaper itself, more than the combination there with the quote-unquote Talon comp, as we call it. Krytox is going to somehow get the play of the game here, even though most of his Dragon Blades didn't find effect. This was the best one he had, and it still wasn't good enough.
I mean, this was mostly because he was doing all the work while the rest of his squad was dying. So it was a nice flashy play, one that you put in the highlight reel without context for sure. But Rogue, yet again, looking for a 4-0. Currently going to be sitting at 10 points. Can they get the 4-0, or can Denmark pick up a map?
Well, that's going to be the question, and you know, I still don't want to count Denmark out here because of how close the majority of this series was. You know, the control map,
everything before Volskaya.
Yeah, even though the control was 2-0, it was 99-0 leads for Denmark both times, so just very close to completion but unable to get it done. And it kind of feels like that's the story for Denmark. They had all the ultimates there, they had the EMP baited, still couldn't make it happen. And it's just really good coordination on the side of France to lock down the DPSs, whether it's Krytox on the Genji or if it's Craggy coming in on the Tracer. They shut that down too. And the Dragon Blades really just didn't find anything. Fisher shut down with his tack visor. Never really, there's never a moment besides that one Dragon Blade we saw in the highlight reel where you see Denmark with a 6 ult and say, okay, they got it, they made it work. They got the kills, but not enough of them because the team died. The faster respawns coming in there for Rogue. And
that doesn't work out. France
is looking to close this one out 4-0, and you have to think that with the momentum now shifted in their favor, they'll just continue to do so.
I mean, the big problem here for Denmark is that their fate is leaving their hands if they can't pick up this win. They have to rely on Argentina to take down Thailand for them to maintain that spot as the second seed. And even then, they have to play against China. So it's still a really rough spot to be in. They do want to be advancing as far as humanly possible in this tournament, but the odds are very much stacked against them in both regards. So picking up a win, we'll see what their map choice is going to be as we get ready to go over the final one with the escort. But I mean, every time they have something, Rogue has an answer for it.
I feel like it's time for some attack Bastion, Achilles.
Oh dear.
Route 66 could be the map. We could see it come out again. We've seen it every time we've seen Denmark on attack. Looks like that map is ready. We want to find out where we're headed. Route 66 would be the way if Denmark's going to keep it consistent, and that is where we are headed.
All right, well, Rogue, you know that they have watched those games. Everybody heard how crazy this, you know, yesterday's game with Denmark was. So they've all checked out that attack Bastion. Rogue should be ready for it, which means that we would likely see Unko on that Sombra yet again when it comes down to that defense.
It feels like France is just very much consistently ready for everything that we're seeing thrown at them by Denmark here, be it shutting down the ultimates, dealing with the attack there, having the Sombra, knowing that Lind's Sombra was a weak link. They've done their preparation, they've done their research, so you would think they'd be ready for the attack Bastion too. I said it sarcastically because, to be honest with you, I'm not really fully sold on it myself. Even though it worked really well against some of the weaker teams in the group stage, I don't know if it's going to work against one that's so coordinated with the 6-man roster they've been playing with for now so long in Rogue, aka France. the Frog team here.
I know that Flame's not sold on it. He was talking about it last night. He's like, that should never work.
And, you know, one of the weaknesses of it is when you get the EMP off, you shut it down. Again, we don't know if we're necessarily going to see it, but you get the EMP off, you shut it down. It worked yesterday because they couldn't get the EMP to deny it. But we saw such a good Sombra play already out of Unko today. Don't expect to see it. We'll be France for the defense first, but look at, here it is.
Oh boy, all right, so this should be anticipated.
Can they get the EMP off? He's already on the Sombra, Unko is. It's actually, no, it's Nico on it.
Yeah, they're going to be changing things up here a little bit. They do want that Zenyatta available, so Nico over onto the Sombra. See how much work he can get done. Right now, postured up onto this payload yet again. Biotic Grenade comes down, topping everybody off.
Yep.
As they keep trying to get this push.
AKM also trying to use that defense matrix, but look, this is not the wipe that we saw yesterday with the attack fashion. A lot of that damage completely shut down by AKM. It's going to step off the payload, wants to get a trickier position here to try to catch Soon or Nox. But no heals here. He does survive, but he's not getting kills, not at all.
Almost found Unko. He goes dangerously low. We see that.
There's the EMP.
It's going to be the EMP coming through here from Nico, but it's going to be Nox, the first one that falls down. But Nico and Soon are able to trade up. They get rid of Craggy. They get rid of Nerfed. And without that Reinhardt, his comp does not function, so they will go ahead and have to kite back. Nico going in, looking for yet another EMP.
They're not willing to switch either. They're going to stick with this. They're close to configuration tank, but look at all this farmed EMP charge for Nico. Already halfway to a second one. And it's going to be difficult for Craggy to even get back to the payload with all the harass coming down on the side of France. So he is going to eventually get there, but the second EMP is just going to shut this down again, and its tracks, you have to imagine.
Nox right now, the bubble does go dangerously low, and Craggy has that tank configuration ready to go. That's going to be the nano boost coming through. Can he get the shots in? He's looking for Unko. Doesn't have it. The defense matrix is sticking on top of him, denying all of these shots to come through. Has finally got one in here on the wins as that Earth Shatter comes down, firing away yet again, trying to burn out Unko. Will find him now, looking for Nox, but everybody just sticking right on top of him, just trying to take him down. But he's staying alive. Finally will fall. It takes an angry monkey and the diva in the mech to burn right through him. They get Fisher out as well. Nox will be able to finish off Krytox. And I mean, Denmark, they use a configuration tank. Do they change things up
like
coming back in? They will. In fact, as the Tracer is there now for Craggy.
So
they didn't get that far.
You know the saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But in this case, it was certainly broken.
That
shut down by
busted.
Yeah, shut down by the defense matrix, the Transcendence, the EMP. And so it's going to be going back to something more familiar now for Denmark on other maps. Not so familiar for this one, I suppose.
Now barrier out here for Denmark as they try to push in. Still do have that self-destruct ready to go. Looks like not going to be thrown out yet. Craggy dashing around, zips his way into the cavern, trying to finish off Nox. Will be able to do so, but has lost several members of his team. Lynn, Krytox, both going down. They knock AKM out. They do finish him off. They get Soon as well. This does alleviate a lot of pressure and allows that payload to start moving up a bit further.
Remember, both of these teams showed their expertise on escorts, specifically on Hollywood, getting it all the way for the full completion there with the overtime. So Denmark definitely showing their expertise yet again here, dealing with the aggressive dive in from France, and they're now looking to grab this checkpoint. Nico does have the EMP, but Soon's already down, so no flanking potential, and no other ultimates to pair with that EMP. This is going to be a struggle.
Yeah, it does get dropped in here, but Unko falls off right off the bat, rather. Lynn's still alive, keeping himself safe as Nico pushes back in, looking for a couple kills. The damage not going to be great enough. Has to jump back there with the translocator. Keep himself alive. In the meantime, AKM's going to get popped out of the mech. Will go down, as does Wins. Pulse bomb comes through. Lynn will get taken out in the back line, but is that going to be enough? Tactizer comes through. They will get rid of Soon. That will be the completion here with 25 seconds remaining on the clock. So Denmark are able to push through to point A.
You have to wonder now if maybe it's time to switch back to the Genji, and in fact Nico will, because this is a tougher point to get value out of the health packs. The Sombra idea here mostly for France was to counter the Bastion, and losing Nico's Genji is a big trade-off, so they are going to swap that in. So I like this a lot more. Fortunately, they used that Sound Barrier for the last fight, so that's not going to be available, but he has time to build that and the Dragon Blade. But I think this is a very intelligent switch on the side of France, and they still burn down a lot of the time bank. The pushes from Denmark we saw with the attack fashions usually granted them a lot more time bank than this.
Yeah, I'm kind of like nervously getting excited here for if we happen to somehow have a repeat of that Hollywood map. You can see the Transcendence being pushed forward here from the side of Unko. Will be countered by Lynn as they all stay alive. No one exchanging blows yet. Just a bit of back and forth as the Sound Barrier does come down here for Denmark. It's going to be Wins and Unko, the first two to fall in this fight. A fight that they began. Now AKM knocked out of the mech, firing away as best as he can in his pilot form, but he's going to get taken down. Nico as well falls off, and that is going to be Denmark maintaining this push on this payload.
You could tell AKM was considering dropping that self-destruct with the kind of weird boosters he used there, but he decided to hold on to it. Doesn't want to make the switch over to Soldier just yet, wants to try to use that to deny the checkpoint. So admiring his patience here. You almost feel the frustration. He wants to play the Soldier, but he's going to hang on to that D.Va, hold on to that self-destruct for a better opportunity.
Pulse bomb from Craggy, not going to find anything, and Nerf is going to go ahead. Pop out that Primal Rage, trying to keep himself alive, but in the meantime, Linz has gotten rid of one of the enemy supports as Lind goes down. Nerf going forward, trying to do just that, trying to kill some of these supports, and will be able to do so. As Unco falls, and they go ahead and they pick up Nico as well. So pretty good stuff here for Denmark as they try to maintain this push. Nerf going dangerously low though, and can't get into a position really for the heal, so he's just going to get surrounded and will fall. A minute now remaining for Denmark on the push, just a little bit shy of point B at the moment.
Yeah, AKM holding onto that mech was so important too, even though he didn't get the really crazy self-destruct kills or anything like that. He has the mech remade and is healed up. That bought so much time, so they didn't really have to use very many ults here. Now we're going to have the Transcendence and the Dragon Blade available with sound barriers, so this could be a very strong hold here for France. Here comes the self-destruct defensively though for Denmark.
It gets tossed out, but not going to find anything in the meantime. Nico draws out that Dragon Blade, cuts down Fisher in the Baby D.Va form, now looking for a little bit more, has to go inside, get away from Nerf, wants to stay safe, wants to be here for the rest of this fight. The Transcendence will come through, not in time to save Wynn's life, but perhaps to keep France in this fight so they can finish off Denmark right here, right now. Sound barrier out here from Kellex, only finds two. He goes down. Craggy looking to follow suit very swiftly, will be taken out. Denmark need desperately to get back over to this payload, have several members on the way, one of them being Fisher. Should be able to get the tag to force in the overtime, but can they make it to B is going to be the question.
That's going to be the big question here. Here comes the remech now, already for AKM.
They pop Fisher out of the mech, soon goes down, but so does Nico, so Denmark able to get rid of those DPS members here from the side of France. Wins getting rid of the Baby D.Va, looking for a bit more as AKM gets popped out. Pulse bomb in on the Nox, and Denmark might just be doing it. It's going to be Unco, the only one that can realistically tag this, will be chopped down as Krytox dashes through, and that is going to be a completion here on point B, and I'm having deja vu, Wolf.
Starts to feel like we might see that full completion here, but only a minute and a half now. AKM still wants to stick with the D.Va here, not going to be used. Oh, as soon as I say that, he does switch. Goes say, a bit surprised, doesn't want to use the high ground Soldier. Doesn't have a lot of self-destruct charge, so might not even have it for the contest here, for that final checkpoint, for the completion. As Krytox is just looking for a farm here on the Dragon Blade. They do have that Transcend, so we can try to pop it once he does have it.
Wrap around for the backside there. In comes Nox. Pulse bomb finds Lin. Knocks Fisher out of that mech, and he'll be finished off here by Nico, who's just going to pick up that quick little double kill. Craggy able to get soon as he tries to exit here with his life. Actually comes up with a triple. Nico and Unco both going down. Craggy is carrying so much weight here for his squad, but he does die in the end. AKM does cut him down,
and
but
Kellex just got so much ult charge from that too, because everyone was so low, especially Nerf. So now he almost has a sound barrier. They nearly have the big 6 to complete this. 35 seconds and a long, long push they need, but they're gonna have so many tools, more than France will have. About to have that sound barrier though is France. Here comes Unco, the Transcendence on both sides.
Double Transcendence here, as you say. Nico drawing out the Dragon Blade, not really going to be able to find anything. Gets leapt on. Wins has gone down to that Pulse Bomb, and AKM falling as well. Unco able to answer one kill onto Craggy, but he gets chopped out as Krytox just dashes his way to multiple kills, looking for a little bit more here. Soon dashes around, will get chopped out here as Nerf zaps him to death, and now the payload moving in a couple more meters to go, and point C is looking like a pretty realistic goal here for the side of Denmark. Still several ultimates in their bank at the moment. Lead forward coming through from Nox, has the Primal Rage to try to buy some time. It's going to be double sound barrier, but France has already lost members, and it's looking like they're going to lose more. AKM chopped out here by Krytox, now chasing in, looking for Nico, who has a Discord orb on him. Won't be able to find the kill, at least at the moment, but France has lost both of their supports. Fisher finishing off Wins is a massive opening here for the Danish squad to complete this push. So dangerously close to having this one. Pulse bomb in, takes out AKM. Can they get it now? Soon with the recall, keeps himself alive at least for the moment, but he doesn't have any more dashes, and Wins is pushed off the payload. Unco doesn't even get a chance to touch it, and Denmark will get the completion yet again.
Krytox carried that without the Dragon Blade. He got so many dashes, and it doesn't feel like France took him seriously there. Did it with the first support ultimate coming in, save the Dragon Blade for the later fights. Denmark had the confidence to know, hold on to that Dragon Blade because we're going to go swinging in to close it out at the end. And soon, unfortunately, just unsuccessful there to try to find those picks in the back line. He was picked off by Craggy, who made a great start with the Bastion there, but it wasn't the attack Bastion that led Denmark to victory. It was more, what's more impressive is with such a weak time bank, they were still able to make this work. See if they actually want to run the Sombra now on the defense, because it's still strong here, but it's not going to be the counter to Bastion on the side of France. That's not going to come out. Looks like they just want to use it for some EMPs to attempt the full hold here.
Yeah.
And the big
Bastion
question is
definitely not going to be in France's wheelhouse.
No. And let's see what Nico wants to run. If it's going to be, he wants to flex over to the Diva here to shut down the Craggy aggression, or if is it going to just be he runs the Genji because he wants to get the dive there, get the picks on the back line, try to dive onto Big Earls, get the support kills. That's the big question mark here, as he is holding it right now. It's not locked in either hero.
Try our world famous Monte Cristo.
Yes.
He'll be in the next series.
He'll be in the next series for sure.
We'll try him out. We'll see how he is. We'll give it a go.
Yeah. If you've never watched him before, you probably a pleasant surprise.
He's got some good reviews.
He's pretty decent. I think he's all right, you know. So it is going to be the Genji. At least that's what he locks in here before the gates open. France the big fan favorite, and definitely the favorite going into this in terms of results. This is a six-man roster, six-man team. They've already secured their first place spot, but they want to close it out just as China did with the 4-0.
Well, Nico here with the Hanzo throwing out the Sonic Arrow. Doesn't seem like he spotted anything here. Denmark playing back around the corner. We'll see that there is no Bastion on defense at least, so they can breathe easy in that regard. But Krytox identified here with that Sombra as he starts building up for that EMP. For now, slow and steady, no real commitment from either side as they just try to round this corner.
Soon just playing very defensively right now, not going to try to go for any aggressive dives.
Ooh, Nico going dangerously low, had that Discord orb on him, managed to get behind the bubble to keep himself alive. They will trade nerfed for Nox. But those Winston's going to be falling at the moment. You can see Craggy just trying to wreak as much havoc as he possibly can, but AKM here sitting on top of the payload, able to get rid of that Tracer, helps take down that Diva mech as well, and Unko's going to be the one coming up with a double kill, gets rid of Fisher and the Baby Diva form, and gets rid of that enemy Zenyatta as well. Payload going to be moving very swiftly here to start things off for France.
Now, they are going to have the EMP, but France is just winning this vanilla. They're taking the much more defensive fights, punishing the fact that Nerf and Craggy want to dive in so deep. And they just sit back, take the kills where they can on the payload, and they have a fast time as a result. We're going to see that EMP come down here, looking to stop the Transcends. He is successful in doing so.
Doesn't have Unko though, doesn't get the shield, rid of the shield, but still is able to finish him off.
He didn't have Transcendence anyways, but that was the game plan there, removing it. This is going to be the shutdown of the initial push here for France.
I mean, that could have been a major botch had they not finished off Unko, but this will allow Denmark to go ahead. Clean up a couple of these kills here. And this looks like Nox, yep, off screen will be taken down. Craggy chasing pretty far forward. Will lose his life for that one. The Helix Rockets. Thank you, Killfeed, for telling us the story that happened off
Telling
screen.
the true stories, the Killfeed. Good guy Killfeed. No fakies. Well, France is about to have the big six, and Unko didn't have the Transcendence in that last fight. He did perish, but he's going to have it here. Going to be tough for Denmark to build up that EMP to stop the checkpoint.
Well, that's going to be a nice little time buy here for the side of Denmark. The pulse bomb comes through, and AKM goes down as well. Craggy just chasing in. He has just been wreaking havoc on the members of France, and they'll lose Nox as well, so just buying more and more time.
Getting a lot of picks with no resources spent is Denmark, and this is very valuable time they're buying because France has that big push. They didn't use anything there, so they still have another one. But neither did Denmark. So Denmark's actually about to have 6v6 in terms of ultimates because they did this so efficiently.
But this is the problem. Craggy does sometimes over pursue. We saw it just on his last death. Has it there again. Soon in the meantime, trying to get rid of Lind, almost does so. But this is going to be the kite back. They have to wait for that heal to come in, and soon he's actually just going to blow himself up. Does go down now. Something truck tossed out here by Fisher, trying to zone everybody back. Sound barrier out from both sides. The EMP will just go ahead and get rid of all of the shielding for France. Unko, the only one untouched by that EMP. Now we hear the Dragon Blade drawn out by Nico. Needs to do some serious heavy lifting if they're going to complete this push. Will knock Fisher out of the mech. And that might just about do it. Cannot contest any further, and Nerfed is dead. So it seems like France might have just done it here for themselves. Pulse Bomb does take care of wins. It's really just Kellex trying to buy time here for the rest of the squad.
Survives. Does finally get taken out there. Bit trigger happy was France, to be honest. Not a whole lot of ults left for them now.
I mean, this still is not really moving. They finally finished off Craggy and Crytox, but you see just a little last-ditch effort there from Lind to buy a little bit more time off the clock.
Very risky what France just did, though. Instead of backing off to use all their ultimates together, they actually kind of disjointed them after Denmark used a few of the sound barriers there, or used a few of their own ultimate. Sound barrier, the first one on the side of Denmark. France does make this happen, though. Denmark wanted to get the full hold, but they still deny France, nearly going into overtime there for the first checkpoint. And now we've kind of reset everything pretty even. We do to the switch away from the Sombra now. For Denmark as well. We're going to stick with their more 2-2-2-esque dive. Fisher remains on the D.Va.
Soon, maybe looking for a target here for this pulse bomb. Forced out on the recall. Doesn't gain too much HP back, but will stay safe for the moment. In the meantime, the rest of the squad coming up with a couple kills there as Fisher and Crytox will both be taken out. The payload going to be moving on pretty steadily at the moment.
And soon actually getting that solo kill into Kragi, a rare sight, because it's been mostly avoiding those 1v1s, but did get it there. Builds up the pulse bomb. They have Nico's Dragon Blade with Transcends, but not the Sound Barrier. We'll see if they want to save that Transcends for Crytox's Dragon Blade when it comes out here. It's going to be the dive in already. Nox coming over to look for the support back line.
Wind's getting jumped on. AKM's going to be the first one to fall on the side of France. They are able to answer for the enemy Genji. Nox leaping his way up over onto that high ground. Will keep himself safe for the moment, but Nico has been taken out and the sound barrier used here by the Danish squad. Nox dropping down, drops the bubble, goes dangerously low, doesn't quite have the primal rage, and not sure if he would have wanted to use it anyway. Had it been available. We'll go ahead and go down, and now the chase forward here from the Danish squad. We'll just find a lot of kills. It's a pretty heavy stagger for France to deal with.
Nico switching off of the Genji after using that Dragon Blade. Doesn't want to try to force that to happen anymore because he doesn't have the Transcends anymore. Wants to use the self-destruct to secure this checkpoint. With only 80 seconds left, it feels like perhaps continuing to use that would be a bit gimmicky. Also knowing that Denmark has the Transcends and they're going to be holding on to that. Denmark with an ultimate lead here, especially because of that swap over to the D.Va. Worried a little bit for France now with only 70 seconds left. Comes that
self-destruct. Yeah, Fisher throwing this one in, not going to be finding anything. They push forward though with the Transcendence. They're still coming up with the kills. I'm going AKM, both going down, and Wind's just jumping off the map to go ahead and abandon that one. Once the reset, but they're running out of time. 55 seconds, all that is left on the clock. And actually just now, Nico gets popped out of the mech. Rocky comes up with that pulse bomb.
That's actually huge. That's a lot of time bought.
Massive time buy.
Massive, massive.
He's got to run all the way back to the spawn, you'd have to think, and then he's got to swap back onto the D.Va, so he loses all of that ult percentage that he had built up for himself.
It's already back here now. But France is going to have to make this push work. They're now kind of limited to this last final one. If they mess this up, then it's over. Denmark's going to take it. They have to make this happen now. Going to get Sound Barrier to lead off.
When it comes down to payloads, it's been working out for both of these teams rather well so far. Sound Barrier down here for France. Trade in onto Lind, but they do lose out on Unco. Pulse Bomb goes through onto Nerf. Takes him rather low. Has a primal rage to stay alive for a little bit longer. Still has not died. And actually trades up a kill here onto AKM as they desperately try to delay this push to stop it right here into overtime. As we get ready to enter that, Crytox with the Dragon Blade finds the swipe in onto Soon, takes Nico right out of the mech, should be able to finish him off, and it's just the rest of the squad desperately trying to get over here to tag in onto the payload, are able to do so as Nox rejoins the fight. But the rest of the team not going to be that lucky. Nox does get finished off as Fisher comes up with a kill. Attack visor out here from AKM, gets rid of one, goes dangerously low, stays alive, looks for Lind. Can he get the kill?
Finally!
Gets it with the melee hit, but Craggy is there to pick up the pieces, takes him down, but he's traded back very swiftly by Nico in the baby D.Va form, and they have this running and makes it back into the back.
I was really worried there for France when they lost Soon. He's been really a great defensive tool for France here when they are defending the dive that's coming in. And the pushes continue. It feels like we might be going towards another overtime round here, Achilles, this time on Escort. But France using Soon defensively. I like how he's altered his playstyle here a little bit. Not going to be chasing down Craggy, just wants to defend the backline when Craggy comes in to shut him down. He's beginning those 1v1s with the rest of his team a lot more consistently.
Well, here we go. Fisher going to get knocked out, has the self-destruct, doesn't throw it, however. Just going to get killed eventually. Lasted quite a long time, and it's Many a kill spilling over here for France.
Denmark needs to be careful not to spill these over if they want to stop this completion. This is why France was able to get that overtime win on Hollywood, just because they kept feeding in one by one, staggering those respawns. France has so many tools now. Nico finally is going to have that self-destruct. Took him ages to build it. Finally, the Diva swap is going to make a lot more sense. Helping protect against Craggy. And here comes the Transcendence to lead off.
They're going to be pushing in here, looking for the fight, but they're not going that far forward. Is France, so they're not really gaining anything for this one. Pulse bomb down onto Nerf, not quite going to kill him, and he gets popped back up, but Craggy will fall. AKM finding the kill. Self-destruct's thrown out, will find Fisher. Nico coming up with the pick, but can they get more? France so very close to completing this one with 10 seconds remaining. Primal Rage thrown out here by Nox, just trying to smack everybody away from the payload so they can get this pushing forward, but Kelix and Craggy are there to delay as best as they possibly can. Now the rejoin coming through here from Denmark. Crytox with the Dragon Blade, looking for more kills, but he gets taken down. Nox finds that kill with the leap in. Craggy, Kelix, and Fisher yet again the ones just dancing around on the payload, trying to keep this one in contention, and now we are into overtime. Can they get the tag? It doesn't seem like it, and Denmark are able to hold. They're able to take a map off of France and better their chances of moving forward into the playoffs.
Every single time we saw the Crytek's Dragon Blades in the situations that mattered most, they didn't work out. The shutdowns were there every time. Sometimes by Soon, sometimes by Nico, killing him there in the Dragon Blade. That last one, the one that mattered most in the final map, is the one that wins it for them. We're going to take a look, of course, at our play of the game. It will be Kelix here, who was an incredible Lucio, feared in Europe. Not going to watch that play of the game, but anyways, that was the move there, was finally Crytox, because the Dragon Blade Rogue over committing there for the French team with all those ultimates too early. The long run back there. I like the way Soon played defensively. I like the way they dealt with Craggy throughout the series. I think that's why they take the 3-1 victory. But Denmark's at least able to come back with one map there in the final set.
So that's going to be Denmark advancing their score to, I believe, 6 at the end here of the group stage for themselves. Thailand just a little bit further behind them with 3 points. So this is going to be a photo finish depending on how Argentina can hold up against the Thai squad. Lots of pressure on them as they get ready to take the stage for their final match. We're going to go over to a break. When we come back, we'll have the desk break down those final 2 maps because they were a bit crazy, so good luck to them.
The 2017 Overwatch World Cup is brought to you by Omen by HP, T-Mobile, Union Pay, and Blizzard Entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the post-game show for what could really be considered the best game of the Shanghai group stage, France versus Denmark. And boy, is there so much on the line here. Like, it's insane to take it all in. One, I think everyone here should, if you are a fan of competitive Overwatch and you are on the community, whether it be Discord or Reddit or wherever, you know that Denmark, this is not a team to take lightly. And I'm actually really excited to see Singularity play now, given all the things that we've seen from this team. Zoe, your thoughts, though, because France, I'm sure they did not expect that.
No, I think one of the things they definitely didn't expect was to go onto Volskaya in that third match. I would have assumed they would go for Horizon, given the fact that France actually didn't really play on that map before. And Volskaya is one of the maps they feel really comfortable at. They really showed that in a dominant performance.
Yeah, they actually just beat Immortals in the Beat Invitational, I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago on that map, to win out a best-of-7 series, actually. And I'm not really sure why Denmark felt the need to go there. I mean, if you're going to go up, they weren't really able to deal with DDX's Sombra. They obviously showed a little bit of struggle against the Puto Sombra, so why would you go back to Unko Sombra? It's just a map, I think, that's very designed for Sombra in itself. It's probably one of the few maps where you can run it on A and B pretty successfully. So I think that they kind of kicked themselves a little bit just trying to bring them there.
Yeah. They could certainly be in a different position now. Maybe if they went to Horizon, but who knows, right? I mean, that's like darkest timeline stuff. So,
well, talking about tough positions they're in now, their entire fate in this tournament rests on the match that's about to come up, of course. So, you know, Denmark did really well. They had the opportunity to put themselves clearly ahead. Any more match wins, they would have done that. They could have at least tied with Thailand, but now they're in such a precarious position. But I do want to shout out the trio that we talked about early on. Nerfed our tank. He came in with these two flankers, Craggy and Crytex. He said, if I can work with them, I can do anything. And that's definitely what we saw them working in a nice little unit today.
You know, I'm going to make this joke, and I'm going to get roasted for it, and I'm going to take it. It's nerfed or nothing.
Nerfed or nothing.
I made it on Twitter, and I own it here. Anyway, moving forward.
Yeah, I love that little bit of I mean, they pulled
I got no
out the
chuckles from you guys. It was a pretty... Flame doesn't laugh at anything, though.
I laughed.
I'm dead inside.
Yeah.
No, I think one thing that really stood out for me is that he did step up, Nerf DD. He had a very good game. He got a lot of entry kills on Hollywood. He had a pretty good showing right there on Route 66. It's really hard, I think, if you're in the position that Denmark was in, because those last two maps are actually Dorado or Route 66. And Rogue's best map might actually be Dorado, as is shown in Apex and other tournaments in the past. So you bring them to Route 66, they definitely did a very good job. But now, again, as Rachel said, Argentina is their crutch. They need Argentina to take at least one map for them to still have an option to go into the playoff series. So this match is very, very important for both teams.
Okay, so for France now, they go in as the #1 seed here, without a doubt, no questions asked. Now they face off against Norway. And Norway, it was very concerned about France coming into this tournament. So do you feel like France's chances have really just gone tenfold to go to BlizzCon?
I mean, with every single match they're playing here, they're warming up more and more. And we can really see that in the performance. Even though, I mean, it's now on that very last one, there was some you know, some little hiccups again. But still, also Denmark just played incredible well and really gave them a run for their money. But still, in terms of France against Norway, I still think France is not going to... It's going to be interesting, but I don't think France is going to be too concerned.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to say for France.
All
okay?
right.
If you ain't taking anyone seriously in this competition, you got a problem, because everyone here is gunning for that spot. Guys, thank you so much. But this next matchup is going to be insane. I honestly, I don't even know what's going to happen, because for Thailand, this is it. It's everything here. If they're able to come out on top, they will go to the bracket play and face off against China. But for Argentina, maybe it's about national pride and keeping things together and fighting and doing everything they can to go out with a bang. We're going to find out how all this unfolds, so don't go anywhere, because this next matchup is going to be awesome. It will be Thailand facing off against Argentina, and we'll see you on the other side.
The 2017 Overwatch World Cup is brought to you by Omen by HP, T-Mobile, Union Pay, and Blizzard Entertainment.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 2017 Overwatch World Cup Shanghai Group Stage. As we get ready for our last match of the groups, it will be Thailand versus Argentina, with a lot on the line here for Thailand in particular. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Thailand, this is it.
This is really it. This is really, really important for them. And so far, they've really performed well. We saw them on day one going up against Denmark. And I think that was probably the best match of the whole day, as it ended in a 2-2. And that series was insane to watch. And yesterday, they played against France, took one map off of them, just like Denmark did. And they also made it really, really close on all 4 maps. So I think this is going to be really, really, really tough for their opponents.
Yeah, Argentina is like the dream maker, dream breaker here. Depending on how they perform against Thailand, it could be Thailand going straight into the semifinals. It could be a tie between Thailand and Denmark, or you know what? I feel it's a tough spot for Argentina to be in here because they themselves cannot get out of this situation.
Yeah, this is definitely for pride for them, and I think that that's really important. We talked to them on Thursday, we talked to them on Wednesday, I think even, and they were saying, we're here to bring Overwatch to Argentina. Argentina deserves to be here. We want to make a splash, get our names out there, and they've definitely done that in a huge way. I think if you're Oputo right now, you're maybe a little bit afraid of DDX. We're going to have this huge Sombra clash right now, see which one of them can actually turn out the lights. Apagando los luces, as Sombra says.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very big game, and I really think that there's this huge pressure right now on Thailand because they can determine their fate. 3 wins in this series will give them the tiebreaker against Denmark. 4 maps will just get them straight through. So there's a lot of pressure here on them. There's a lot of pressure on Argentina. It's going to be probably the biggest match of the tournament thus far.
Oh, 100%. And what's insane is we just came off of an insane game with France and Denmark that I don't even think a lot of people really expected to be that crazy. And, you know, you look at Argentina, you look at the situation that they're in right now, and I don't want to say it was something, it could easily be different because they were facing up against some really tough competition. But the truth is, they could have easily been in a position where they're going to playoffs.
Well, you know what? I think it's a factor of time and practice. They have not stopped scrimming since they got here. And actually, Thailand's one of the teams that have been generous enough to scrim against them. They've constantly been looking for matches, and they're improving throughout just these 3 days.
And the question is, they did scrim against each other. Who won?
Apparently, it was pretty close, but Argentina told me they were keeping some things secret, so there's still an opportunity here in Argentina.
Is that what you're saying?
No, they tied, but they did fire all their bullets.
Oh, Lordy. Okay, well, here you go. Here's the Thai roster. Mickey coming into this Mega Thunder team here. This is a squad of 5 that added Mickey into it. Mickey, of course, one of the most well-known names for Thai esports there, or Thai Overwatch, I should say. Because
the other players really got their names out there too. Puda on his Sombra. Tito Watt really stepped it up yesterday as well as their tank. And NCNR fought some interesting battles on his tracer as well, was very over-eager. I'm interested to see.
Can I say Tito Watt's 16?
Yeah, he's
I would not
really
know that
young.
from his team photo.
No, no, you wouldn't.
Argentina here, unlike Thailand. And this is an amalgamation of a couple different pro teams and some non-pro players, but we've had our standouts. Definitely Klaus making a big name for himself. I do want to shout out Battletoad. He's been sitting on the Lucio a little bit, but he's been flexing into some other roles. Great performance all around from these guys, and I hope I do get to see them more after the Overwatch World Cup.
Beautiful mustache as well.
I was going to say,
I just want to add that in. I want everyone to know.
We've been talking a lot about, you know, Decon, and here you go. You got Battletoad. All right, guys, just so you know, for our streamers back in the States, only T-Mobile brings you unlimited access to the Overwatch World Cup on America's best unlimited network. Big thank you to T-Mobile once again, our partner here for OWWC. Players are going to make their way out to the stage. So much on the line here. Thailand always smiling, this team.
Yeah, I've never seen any one of them frowning or being in a bad mood, even if they're losing. Like, they're just keeping their spirits up, and that's just such a great attitude.
Yeah, Argentina, they said, you know, Thailand's so kind and to scrim with them, but also they love Mickey. Everyone here in this tournament loves Mickey.
Who doesn't love Mickey?
It's hard not to love.
You know,
Argentina loves Mickey.
Yes. Well, guys, here we go. This matchup is going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be Thailand versus Argentina. A chance in the bracket play, but also pride on the line as well. And who better to take us through the action than none other than Monte Cristo and Doa.
That's right, Doa and Monte Cristo here for our final match of Group B. It's going to be Thailand versus Argentina, and Argentina may be out. They have a chance to play spoiler, but Thailand, the team really with their destiny in their own hands, huh?
Yeah, they can, and as we heard on the desk, coming into this match, if they take the 3-1 victory over Argentina, that will result in a best-of-3 Oasis tiebreaker. But if they take the 4-0, they will just leave in second place here in Group B. So absolutely important. Every map is very crucial here.
Right.
But Argentina, they're already out. But it's not really about playing for pride for them, because talking to this team, they came in after having scrimmed for months with this roster. They have put in, by far, I think, the most preparation time of any of the teams here. And they're looking to make a name for themselves. So it's not about the pride, it's about showing off. We've seen what a player like Klaus can do on an international stage. They need these matches, they need these performances to convince people to maybe pick them up for upcoming Overwatch League teams.
Absolutely. I think by far, Argentina is the team that's record in this tournament is least reflective of the actual skill of these guys. There's a lot of talent on this roster, and yeah, going forward, hopefully some other teams are watching. We know they probably are, so check these guys out. They're really good, especially Klaus. He's awesome.
I think Klaus is probably going some places, but
I agree.
Yeah, you look at this entire roster, and that's really what's on the line for them. So these are not throwaway matches for Argentina by any means.
No.
Their ability to win maps here could dictate, you know, years of their future.
Very true. And looking at that last match, France versus Denmark, what a heartbreaker for Denmark. I mean, they were so close on all of those maps to beating France, and if they had gotten even just one more win, it would have made a big difference in Thailand's ability to come back and win this one. It's still not easy for Thailand, but they've got this kind of large opening now at this point.
Yeah, they do. I think the scary thing about France, though, is that when we see Rogue play and the going gets tough, they are so clutch in the waning seconds of a match. And to me, that's what's the most impressive, is that it is incredibly difficult to fluster them, because when their backs are against the wall, they perform their best.
Well, how in the world do you let your opponent full push in overtime to get 6 points on Hollywood, and then you're just like, I think we can do that. And they just come back and do it again, and then they win the match like, what, 7-6? That was insane. I've never seen a Hollywood map go like that.
I don't think anybody has ever seen that.
Like, that is about as clutch as you can get on a team level. But on an individual level, too, with France, every time things look like they're starting to kind of go south for these guys, somebody on the team makes a big play. It's usually been Soon this week, I think, but everybody's kind of had their chance.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're about to enter the game, too. So we're going to get this kicked right off, actually, on King's Row, which will be our first map selection here.
Should be awesome. I'm excited to see Thailand play against, of course, a lot of great players on that team. Apudo has been really fun. Flame mentioned on the desk. It really is a battle of the Sombras, isn't it, in this one?
I really like that about this, because the Sombra versus Sombra matchups have been quite fun to watch so far at this particular tournament.
For sure.
Whether we were looking at sort of Unko getting denied at EMP by getting EMP'd himself after a flank, you know, a lot of big plays have come through, and both DDX and Apudo have made waves on that particular hero.
you know, we've been watching Sombra sort of come up in the meta over the last few months, and I feel like in this tournament, finally, we're starting to see Sombra really hit her stride as a really integral part of a lot of strategies on a lot of maps right now. Even in Contenders a couple weeks ago, we didn't see this much Sombra play.
No, and it has been dictating a lot of the wins here for teams as well. Teams that play Sombra, or at least have the flexibility to select her and play her well, have made a much bigger impact. She is very important to the current meta.
Yeah, I wonder what being at a Lucio concert is like. It's like 1 second you're just like, you feel like you're moving around faster than normal in the audience, and then like suddenly you're feeling really good. Like you got a paper cut and suddenly it's gone, and then you're like moving really fast again. I'd be really confused. Lucio concerts seem way too disorienting for me.
Is that right?
I'm getting old, maybe.
I would say to that, Toa, perhaps you've never been to an electronic music festival before.
Not a festival, no. I've been to a concert, yeah.
Okay.
I did. I saw a Hybrid Theory way back when.
Oh, that's a ways back.
Yeah, like I said, I'm old. What do you know? Not as old as that building on Kings Row, but, you know, I'm getting there. I don't think I can catch up, though. Here we go. Early Hanzo arrows come out just to see if they can find those picks. See if you can scope something out. Looks like we have Argentina on the attack in the red, Thailand defending in the blue. Leviathan already being backed into a corner here. He's got the health to handle it. Manages to fight his way back down the stairs. Ooh, that was a close call with the dive from Thailand, but they pulled out very quick. They didn't commit to that more than they needed to.
Well, they couldn't really, but you could see the placement of the Winston shield there very good, so that Oputo had a place to fall back after the reflect came through. And Oputo, you know, back on the Genji. We saw him virtually playing the exclusive Sombra before, but that's going to be a nice reflect.
At DDX, you know, not on the Sombra either. But again, this isn't really a Sombra map, Kings Row. So not too big of a surprise there. Thailand does hold that first big push from Argentina. Burns a little bit of time off the clock here, but Argentina coming back. Not too close to too many ultimates yet. On the Thailand side, though, they're going to have some stuff to work with. This could be a pretty long defensive hold.
Well, what I like about Thailand's composition is you have a couple of great targets if you're going to run the Ana for the nano boost. You have both the blade and you have the tactical visor. So a little bit of flexibility and staggering of those ultimates could work quite well.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's also something that Thailand really hasn't done up until this point. Although NCNR is going to go down. That could be a little bit disastrous, and Oputo going to go down as well while he's pulling out the Dragon Blade. Not looking good for Thailand.
I kind of cast a curse in there. As soon as I said this could be a long defense, I knew something like this would happen. Thailand falling apart a little bit here. Maybe Mickey can bring it back with this tac visor, but not if all the damage is absorbed by Beast. Gets a little bit there. Gets a kill on Leviathan, but that's about it. His Ana desperately trying to keep him alive, and she does. Beast backing away. Has to pop that self-destruct. Going to give Argentina a little bit more time on the point, but yeah, I think that's when you run for it. Thailand not going to be able to stop this one from being taken. And they got to get set up for streets.
Yeah, the zoning self-destruct there, preventing anybody from possibly getting in and isolating several members of Thailand on the point to be cleaned up afterwards. Not really convinced that Battletoad needed to drop the beat there, but other than that, excellent use by Beast of the self-destruct.
Not bad. And the payload is moving. So Thailand not able to hold on to point A too much. Argentina getting a pretty quick start. A couple of bits to use in the streets phase here. And I mean, Kings Row, the streets phase never tends to last too long. We don't see a lot of teams get held. Oputo gets an early kill on DDX, though, and I realize that as a caster, as soon as I say that, I'm kind of guaranteeing we're going to see a long streets phase. Huh?
That's right. That's how it goes. Thailand did have a chance to regroup and actually push forward defense, so you know, they gave up on the point pretty quickly, and that means that with the slow rollout time on that card, usually you will have an opportunity to defend here. They're not actually going to go all the way back to the spawn, but they are going to make it a little bit difficult for the members of Argentina to get out of these upper halls.
All right, that's a very optimistic tac visor by Leviathan. Not sure what he really wants to get with this. Maybe, no, can't even get the kill on NZNR. And I think Leviathan's going to need a bit more than that. There's a kill on Oputo with the Helix rocket. Charging forward now, Thailand actually falling apart a bit. So Oputo at least, or rather Leviathan at least, creating enough space for Argentina to come in and win that fight.
And as good as Oputo has been on the Sombra, his Genji performances have not been stellar so far.
Agreed.
And Thailand is trying out some of these triple DPS compositions that have been successful for teams like France, but really they've been better when Mickey's been on the Diva and Oputo's been playing the Sombra. But
well, unless I'm wrong, they're the ones that picked this map as well.
Yes.
So they're the ones that went to Kings Row, a map that they wouldn't be able to use Sombra too well on. There's a nano boost on Titawat. He's going in. They had to use that to keep them alive. Transcendence comes in for Argentina, and Titawat does go down. Mickey backing off with that tack visor, looking for the kill on the Klaus, but he can't quite find it. And Argentina going to get point B here.
That was really well played by Klaus and Beast there. They isolated that backline, nullified the tack visor, while the rest of Thailand was simply fighting on the cart and a man disadvantage.
Yep.
So the separation has been good for Argentina. They've been picking apart Thailand and taking those advantageous fights.
Yeah.
And most of that has been great zoning from Klaus and Beast.
Klaus is very disorienting to watch, man. He likes to move his mouse around. And he's just moving in straight line. Titawat gets caught by the self-destruct. Whoops, Thailand not looking too strong on this defensive round. Sound barrier comes out for Argentina as they keep pushing forward through point C. Panties finally gets the kill onto Beast. Thailand may be able to push back a little bit here. Klaus kind of finds himself on his own in the Tracer duel, along with a little bit of help from everyone else, and Mickey picks that one up. So Thailand finally getting a little bit of breathing room.
Now, Battletoad really needs to make sure that these sound barriers are more useful. There was no way to actually engage onto Thailand there, as they had already backed off and were hiding out of line of sight. So second sound barrier in a row that Battletoad hasn't seen a lot of value from.
Mickey just taking a little bit more of a defensive position. Apudo goes down early once again, and yeah, that Genji not working out too well for him. Nice biotic grenade onto Argentina. We'll see if Thailand can capitalize. Not looking so good so far. NZNR goes down early, and Leviathan just pulling back. Good little disengage from Argentina to let that biotic grenade fall off before they go back in again. Got to deal with Titawat again, but you know, he's kind of on his own. There's a tack visor. Is he going to get enough? Looks like he is. Yeah, Argentina just rolling forward. Oh, nice rocket onto Mickey.
With the big knockback onto Mickey's tactical visor there, opened up the room for Leviathan to get the soldier versus soldier kill.
That's big. Once again, the nano boost onto Titawat, but not a lot of support from his team. Now he's got the sound barrier. Apudo needs to come up big with this Dragon Blade.
And
he gets two, gets three. And that is exactly what Thailand needed to try to stabilize so close to the end of this offensive round. They've got 2 minutes yet to hold it, but at least now they've got some time to regroup.
Yeah, they do, Doa, but they're also going to be behind in a crucial support ultimate game. Necta's going to switch to a Reinhardt right now, so trying to move forward through this push, give a little bit more protection to his team and maybe hit the shatter that will win this game.
It is tough to dive onto this point with Winston, so I agree with this change. I think it's easier to approach the payload here.
It's also easier to shatter the spawn for sure. You can do a lot of damage.
Definitely. Apudo gets a kill on the Klaus there, so good start for Thailand again on the defense, and yeah, now they seem to be doing okay. Necta does fall, and Thailand have bought themselves another 30 seconds, just a minute 20 left.
Yeah, Mickey up top right now, just raining down the death from above. They are going to stick with the Reinhardt. They do have time potentially to build up an Earth Shatter.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it depends. If he can get in there, land some fire strikes, land a couple of hits, it's possible.
It's a lot easier to land those fire strikes when there's no diva on the enemy team, so.
Yep, for sure. Argentina moving in now. A couple ultimates to work with. And Thailand still trying to hold at the very end of Kings Row. It's been a rough defensive round, but they've given themselves a chance.
Now for Thailand too, now that it looks like they actually are going to run Mickey on the Diva and Oputo on the Sombra again, possibly the Farah from NZNR. Now if they're not expecting a Soldier or a Zenyatta on the defense, and it looks like we are going to see Argentina running the Sombra, so Leviathan might actually be vulnerable here as long as the Farah stays far enough away that...
Well, he switched back, so no Farah this time around, yeah. I had my hopes up too, yep. NZNR on the Tracer instead of the Sombra this time, looking for that duel with Klaus, but I think he wants that to be a one-on-one. Yeah, back away. On the point already is Thailand, and Argentina can't let them really build any percentage here because they don't even need to take the whole point.
Well, NZNR zoned 2 members of Argentina out, and that allowed them to get onto Necta and pick up the kill nearly instantly, and now that control meter is building, Noah.
Yep, I don't know if this one's going to last too much longer here. As Thailand cleans up the fight, Oputo looking for hacks, looking for the win, and as soon as they take down Necta, they should have it. That's that. Wow, Thailand.
Took a
pretty quick point A.
It was. Took a little bit of time to find DDX, considering he was invisible on the point right there, so you can see just a lot of spray and pray going on, which is why the timer wasn't going up.
Right.
But they do eventually decloak the enemy Sombra, and that looks pretty easy for Thailand, but it did at least go the distance in terms of the original push. So
yeah,
Argentina looked like they had a strong thing going, but man, Thailand responded so decisively with their own three-point shove of their own.
I mean, well, that's the rough part for Argentina, right? Is you put all this work in, you barely take your offensive round with a few seconds left, and then your opponents just come back and crush you. I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, it is tough, but it's still tougher for Thailand. They want to get this 4-0. They want to blank Argentina so they don't have to play a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
They're 1-0 up now, so 1/4 of the work is done, but now they're going to be dealing with a situation where they're going to have to beat Argentina on Argentina's map picks every time if they want to guarantee themselves that second place.
Yep. Did Tito shave? I swear he had like a beard thing going earlier.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah. All right, good. It's not just me. That's just me hallucinating. Who knows? All right. Well, you know, maybe thinking the clean-shaven look gives him a little bit more power, perhaps. Who knows? I obviously don't believe the same thing, but you know.
Yeah, that's true. Well, but you were already proven wrong by losing some of your power when you grew the beard.
Did I? What power did I lose exactly?
You're slightly diminished now. I'm sorry.
Am I?
No, of course not.
So? What does that mean? I don't know. It's like you get diminished if you use like a ring of power that doesn't agree with you. You're not if you grow a beard.
Well, you're assuming the beard agrees with you. That's the assumption you're making, right?
It hasn't complained yet. I haven't heard whispers at night. Shave. Maybe if I did, I'd just be going insane.
Maybe it's more that it roots itself in your mind and convinces you not to get rid of it, even though it's bad for you.
And this is how beards think about that? So beards are actually like a parasitic organism that have survived through mankind by altering our brain chemistry. Who knows?
Yeah, that's right. That's why I always just, you know,
You think that beards would have expanded to women then in that case? Why only go for half the population?
I mean, just a male weakness, apparently.
I guess so. The story of beards. Thanks to Don Monte Cristo. You're welcome. There you go. Book's coming out later. Looks like we're going to Nepal next. See if Argentina can tie things up. It's really the wonderful analysis that people tune for from us, you know?
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah. Well, here we go. I think if you can ring that bell that's way up high, you could just win Nepal.
Is that it? If you can climb up there and ring the bell, then it's like Mulan.
It's the golden snitch of Nepal, sort of, or Mulan. I don't know.
They have to get the arrow from up high in Mulan. That's right.
Was it?
Yeah.
I have not seen Mulan. I admit.
It's not ringing the bell, but that is a common thing for climbing up ropes. I was wrong though. My reference game not on point today, Noah.
Well, if only you had a beard to help control your mind, you'd do a little bit better.
Is that the trade-off you make? Better references?
Yes, that's what it gives me, I think. Yep, the beard just whispers, "Be a man." There's another Mulan reference for you.
Yeah, that one was actually right, though.
Yes, score one for the beard. Here we go. It's going to be Thailand in blue and Argentina in red as we move into Nepal. Sanctum will be the first point we start things out on. And Oputo already finding those shots from the outside. Argentina, of course, taking that high ground, being very aggressive. They're moving pretty far forward, but Thailand is like, all right, that's fine. We'll poke and we'll wait for the point unlock.
Purdue actually getting a lot of damage done while everybody is stacked up from Argentina in this corridor.
Yeah.
They're really committing to the far side of the point. And
Nobody's on the point.
nobody's on the point.
There
right
we
now.
go. All right, well, now you can jump on there. The fight It's been won. Argentina pushed back, and Thailand will claim the point early.
Look how much ult charge Apudo got off of that. He's actually beating DDX on the Sombra right now because everybody was lined up for those dashes for him.
Yeah.
So they are not going to be expecting him to have a Dragon Blade at 10% of the control point right now. This will be quite surprising for them.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, of course, we've seen Apudo struggle a little bit on that Genji pick, but so far so good here on Nepal.
This is one of those times where you start thinking about maybe pulling out that Dragon Blade early. That's because you know you're going to have the element of surprise. They are going to come around the backside, though. He's going to run straight into it.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, coming in from behind as Titawat jumps in, gets a kill on the Leviathan. Apudo trying to pair that in. Diva
hacked
out of there. Yeah, that's right. Hack taken out. Klaus coming in for the kill as well. And Argentina fighting back. Oh, until NZNR gets the double kill with the pulse bomb. And Thailand will hold the point.
That's right, DDX and Klaus going on the backside. Mickey holds on to his tack visor. He was approaching that too, even as the fight began. So Thailand, judicious with their ultimates, only using a couple to start things off. And Argentina still in an uphill battle. DDX actually switching over to the Zenyatta right now, deciding that the Sombra not going to be working for them.
Kurlos has that Transcendence too if they need it. There's attack visor for Mickey. Just kind of forcing Argentina back. He actually got the sound barrier out too.
Yeah, had to use the sound barrier, but then zones everybody back off the point at the same time. That's great value for a tactical visor.
I mean, Thailand already up to 75% here on Nepal. They need to be careful here. Mickey does go down, self-destruct, not claiming a whole lot. Meanwhile, Kurlos does pop the Transcendence, has to keep everybody up. Apudo with 1 kill, and now Klaus trying to find some kills on the supports on the outside. He may get both of them. Looking for the kill, he does get panties. Full supports taken by Klaus. And Thailand may have to see this point flip over. They will, it looks like, as soon as NZNR goes down. Yep. That is going to be about it, and Argentina gets some control percentage going.
But Thailand stalled it out nicely all the way to 97%. Panties also still has the sound barrier to use.
Back cap. What in the what? Thailand got a ton of control meter built up on that attempted flip.
Yeah, Titawat actually managed to find himself on there, and now they're going to have the sound barrier to work with.
All right, DDX has to pop the Transcendence. Pulse Bomb came in. Klaus did get the kill on the Titawat. Argentina looks like they might be able to hold on the Saputo. No, he can't come up with a big Dragon Blade.
That Dragon Blade was not necessarily at all right there. Titawat had already died, and Panties was dead too with the sound barrier. That's a miscommunication from Thailand. They have time to work with, but still, you hate to see those kind of mistakes.
Yeah. Got to come back in now. Necta getting very, very low. That's a good pick for Thailand. Maybe something they can exploit. Mickey also popped Beast out of his Diva suit as well.
Yeah, that's a huge win. You basically just eliminated the tank line right there, and there's attack visor.
Here we go.
Guess what? No Diva to stop this one. You're zoned out. You cannot contest this. Leviathan just squeaking around that corner.
99. We're into OT. Panties drops the sound barrier a little bit early. Not a big attack from Argentina. And that may be all they need anyway, though. We'll see if Klaus can get back on there again. Apudo gets the kill. Doesn't look like it'll work out. And Thailand should take Sanctum. They will.
Yeah, they are. They still had enough control percent to come back even after a couple of shady fights to begin things. And Thailand continues to roll here in this match. Got 1 map to send it to a 2-0 victory for them. 3 is the magic number to at least force a tiebreaker with Denmark. 4 will put them through to second.